Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead, and today, because I'm wearing all my Nugs gear, I figured what we'd do is we would try some Cuban link shatter in the Stunden glass. I really like that, man. It's like my favorite thing. It's gotten rid of all my bongs. So the Cuban Links by Nugs is a sativa. It is 78% THC. It's terpinolene, caryophyllene, humulene, and yeah, it's a sativa. It's nice. It tastes very lemony. So if you like lemons, you might not like it, but the high is really sweet. The high is pretty much like it's a very clean high. It's intense, especially in the shatter. In the flower, I don't find it quite as tense, but in the shatter, I find it pretty intense. So the question I had today was, how long did it take you for your girlfriend to fart in front of you? Because I've been trying to get my girlfriend to fart in front of me. We've for like almost a year. On June 15th, it'll be our 1 year anniversary of knowing each other, as she says. So I've been trying lately just to get her. I fart all the time. Like, not, I don't try to fart in front of her, but I definitely fart. Because, like, there's been a couple times where at night, you can't control your shit. And I've woken up to farting on her leg. I did it the other day. Generally, it wakes me up and I'm like, oh shit, did I do that? Did she notice that? And then I'm sitting there in the bed like, I hope she didn't notice. She notices every time. And then I think if I go to like a separate bathroom and I'm taking a shit in that bathroom, you can't hear me fart, but I could apparently my farts like are transruminantal. Cause yeah, that was like doesn't matter what I do, I can't get away from it. I fart, it echoes. I'm a hard farter apparently. But I'm curious to know how long it took your girlfriend to fart in front of you, or how long did it take you to fart in front of your girlfriend? Like, was it immediate? Because my favorite fart stories, at least for couples, are like when I was dating this one girl, the first girl I slept with. Okay, it was university. Um, I remember one night I snuck up on her and she was looking out her dorm room window. But at this dorm, the windows were like a half wall, so the whole room on the one side was basically a window. And I remember one time I snuck up on her, I scared the shit out of her. She freaked out. I left. And then I came back later on, and then I started tickling her, and she farted. And like those are my favorite farts. My favorite farts are tickle farts, man, because they come up. They're like surprise farts. You don't. Neither of you really expect it, and then boom, fart. I don't care if they stink. Women have a different fart stink. Like dudes have a fart stink. Our fart stinks anywhere from like very. It could be like very sharp, or like just overall encompassing, like you could taste it, like you can eat it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of times as dudes we play the fart game, like guess what you have for lunch, and you can like smell it and then be like, oh, there's some beans, there's some rice, there's a little bit of, I don't know what that is, would you eat shit? Like, women have a different fart. Women have more of like a composty, earthy kind of fart. Their poops always smell like that. I don't know, it's fucking weird to me. But I've basically tried everything I can to get her to fart. I've tickled her. She's pretty good at avoiding the tickle though. So I've tried to tickle her. Sometimes when we're lying in bed, what I'll do is I'll take her legs and I'll start pumping them, like a like an old time train or like an old time well where you got to pump it like a lever. I use her legs as a lever to push on her tummy so that she pops out a fart. No farts, dude. What else have I done? I've tried to squeeze her like ketchup and then I've tried that. I've tried it a lot. I don't know why, but like I just feel like I want to see. I need farts, man. Farts are hilarious, especially to me. I don't know if other dudes feel like this, but like when a girl farts, I find it hilarious because their reaction isn't like a dude. Like a dude's reaction to a fart is you fart and you're like, yeah, get a load of my beef. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a girl, if she farts, it's always like a time and then like cover your butt and run away because like you're embarrassed. There's no shame with dudes in farting, but with women there seems to be a little bit of shame. Don't be ashamed of your farts. Let the farts out. Farts are fun. Farts are hilarious. Be farty. It's fine. So I'm hoping that before the 1 year mark, I can actually get her to fart in front of me. I'm not even allowed. So, like, I have a bathroom off my bedroom. She has a bathroom off her bedroom. When she goes to the bathroom, I have to, like, close my ears. I have to close my ears and not hear anything. Sometimes, depending, like, if it's pees, then I have to go to a different room. I have to just close my ears. But if it's a poop situation, I have to leave the floor. I have to go downstairs to the living room because I'm not allowed to hear it. Not that I want to hear her take a shit, but I really want to know what it sounds like when she farts, dude. I don't know what my obsession is with this fart situation, but I really need to know. I just like farts. Farts are hilarious. My kids and we play the fart game. Like my daughters are the worst too, and I don't understand it. Like my son, he's got sneaky farts. Like they're silent but deadly, SBDs. Depends on what I ate, and it depends on what time of day it is. But I have all kinds. I'm always worried about a silent fart because I'm never sure if the silent fart is a shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, especially if it's warm. If it's a warm silent fart, are you not worried that you just shit yourself? Because I am. I have to go check all the time. My youngest, she pushes out farts, and like every single time I have to tell her to go to the bathroom and check her pants because I'm convinced that she shit herself. you know? My oldest, she just has nasty farts, dude. And she farts like she'll hold her farts in all day long because she doesn't want to fart at school, which I kind of get. But as soon as she gets in the car, it's fucking, it's fart central. Like nothing but fart. She's like Captain Fart. She comes into the house or into the car and it's. I think the car's starting. No, it's her farting. My son is quiet and sneaky. He won't admit to it. Like he'll admit to it if you call him out on it, but he won't be like fart. I farted. Whereas like I'll announce my fart. When I'm about to fart, I go fart and then fart, My youngest, she farts and then looks around to see if anybody else laughs because she thinks it's hilarious. So then what she'll do is if even in public, dude, if she goes to the mall, she told me a story about crop dusting a bunch of people in the dollar store one day. Like, what kid does that? What girl does that? I don't know any girls that are ready to just like let farts rip. Most of the time you have to catch them by surprise, Not my kids, man. My kids think farting is the funniest thing. She kept farting. So when we went to Alberta a while back, my oldest daughter farted on the plane on the way back, and I thought it was the guy in front of me. Dude, it stunk so bad. We got off the plane, and I was like, "Did you smell that fart?" She's like, "Yeah, that was me. That was her, dude. She stunk up the whole plane. No plane etiquette these kids have." My youngest doesn't really care. Like, she'll let her fart rip anywhere she's going. She'll walk and fart. My mom, it's like sometimes, depending, like after dinner, if she's walking around the house, it's like the farts are propelling her around the house. You know what I'm saying? It's just every step she takes. Now she's a little older, so like the farts just come out. But yeah, my youngest will fart on anybody. I remember when we got off the plane when we went to Alberta, I couldn't stop farting in the car for whatever reason. So I was like stinking everybody out. And then she always used to like fart when she walked by me. So like when I was in the airport, she would walk by and she would crop dust me all the time. So on our way to my parents' house in Alberta from the airport, we stopped at one point to let the dog out to go to the bathroom, and she decided she wanted to get out and walk around as well. So as she's walking around, I'm talking to my dad. The dog's walking in a circle doing her business. My daughter comes out. She's right behind me. I go, "Hey, your shoe's untied." She bends down to tie up her shoe. And I walk over and I hold her head down and I just let one rip right on the back of her head. I call that the assassination fart. The hitman fart. because I got her right in the back of the head when she was doing something else. It was as if she didn't even know. And then she stood up into the fart. I hate it. Don't you hate it when, like, so this has happened a couple times where I'd be at a store and you're walking around looking at something and somebody else farts and then you walk through the fart and then somebody else comes into the aisle like and it looks like you did the fart. Dude, that's the worst. The worst is taking heat for someone else's fart, bro. You never want to take heat for someone else's fart. That's not cool. But it's also fun being the ninja farter so that, like, you're the guy that drops the fart and then leaves. It's like you're leaving C4 in war. You know, you leave it, you have a detonator, it goes off, you walk through, boom, done. Like, killed a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I really want to get my girlfriend to fart. I really hope she farts. Because, like, that's the next level of a relationship, isn't it? Where, you know, you do all the fun things, you get along, you've kind of figured each other out a little bit, you're starting to understand each other more, and then all of a sudden, fart, right? Out of nowhere. That's like, there's a bond to farting, dude. When you fart in front of somebody else, you're like linked for life. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always go back to that moment of like, hey, remember that time I farted? Tickle farts are the best, though. I don't tickle fart. I mean, when I get tickled, I don't fart. Most people, mostly because you have to tickle my feet. And like, don't tickle my feet, dude. I remember my mom used to wake me up because I would sleep on my stomach with my feet hanging over the bed. And my mom would wake me up because it was the easiest way. Like, you could jump on me, I wouldn't wake up. You could push me, I wouldn't wake up. Alarms, don't wake me up. She would go by and tickle my feet. That wakes me up. Problem is, you tickle my feet, my legs are just going wherever, you know? So I remember a couple times when I was in high school, she woke me up and I almost kicked her in the head. And I finally said to her, I was like, look, you got to watch out because, like, one day you're going to actually get kicked in the fucking head. And I don't want to kick you in the head. You're my mom. I love you, you know? Sure enough. I don't remember when it was, but she tickled me and boom, kicked right in the head. Now, luckily, I'm already lying down, so, like, you don't have a lot of leverage. It wasn't like I'm doing a swooping roundhouse kick or something like that. It was just a quick little pop right in the face. But, dude, yeah, she was pissed. She called my dad. She's like, get in here, Gary. You tell this boy, blah, blah, blah. He's like, why? What'd he do? She's like, he hit me. He's like, you hit your mother? I was like, well, I was sleeping. She tickled my foot, and she got kicked by my foot. I was asleep. My foot, and you have a problem. Like, you do whatever you want to my foot. Needless to say, nothing happened. I remember... This is a good one. So, excuse me. When we were growing up, I had a dog. We named this dog Barkley. He was a Cocker Spaniel. And when we would watch movies, my mom would sit at the edge of the couch, like on the side of the couch where there's an arm. And she would sit almost like in the fetal position. So her arm and head, her head would rest on her arm, which would rest on the arm of the chair. And then she would, you know, be laying sideways across the couch with her feet with her knees kind of like crooked in a little like V. Well, the dog would go into the spot between her legs and the couch, and inevitably, anytime we're watching a movie, she'd let a fart go right on this dog's head. The dog would look up, be like, God damn it, and then walk to a different spot. Well, one time, I remember this very clearly. My mom is lying on the couch, okay, and I don't remember how the dog got near her face, but the dog got near her face. And the dog just looks at her like he knew, like he had been planning it. And he just... Now, obviously, we didn't hear it, but, like, all of a sudden, my mom looks up, she's like, oh! I thought she was gonna choke. It was bad, man. But I feel like that dog ate all day and didn't shit, specifically holding on to that so that he could let it go right in her face to get her back for all the time she'd farted on him. Oh. Yeah, I got to get my girlfriend to the point where she farts in front of me. You have to know how someone farts, right? Like, if you're going to be with them for a long period of time, hopefully, you got to know how they fart. You know how they laugh. You know how they cry. You know how they see the world. You know their feelings on everything. You know their views on on everything. And if you don't know how they fart, I feel like that's a red flag. Like, you got to know how someone farts if you're going to spend all your time with them. Mostly because you got to know if every time they fart you're going to laugh or you're going to run. Cuz like you got to know what you're getting into. It's worse getting farted on too. Like when you're pressed up against somebody or or right beside them, cuz like my youngest daughter, what she'll do is when we're watching movies, she'll sit beside me, snug right up, and then when she has to fart, she'll lift her cheek and like press herself up against me so you can feel it on your leg. That warm air and that like push, dude, that's something else, man. you know? Yeah. It's yeah. No thank you. That's the worst, getting farted on. Or if somebody farts right in your face. You ever been farted, like caught a fart in the mouth? Dude. Mouth farts? Come on. You got to taste that shit. You're not just you're actually like chewing a chunk of fart. Yeah. Farts could save relationships, I think. Like let's say you're going through, like, if my ex-wife and I had farted on each other more, I think that we wouldn't have gone down, well, I don't know. Maybe there'd be less likely a chance that we went down the divorce road. Because like again, that's the out hole, right? So like whatever comes out of there is not going to be pretty, you know? So I feel like if you're more invested in your partner's farts and you're comfortable in it, like that's a level of comfort that, like, I don't know, it brings you to it's a bond. If you don't know, like, imagine, okay, what about in space? That's a good question, no? What are farts like in space? Like if you could dribble a drop of water and it's just a ball floating in the space, like in the air, right? If you fart, how long does that fart stay there? Does it just float in a cloud? Or does it, because, like, I'd imagine that if you're farting, right, then realistically, if you're going to depict a fart, it's not a cloud, it's like a stream, right? So you'd see, like, kind of like a cloudy stream floating around, floating around the, floating around the room. And how long does it stay there? Like, if you're in space for 6 months, is that going to be there for? I mean, obviously you have, a way to let out air, I would imagine, or a recycle of air. But like, well, I guess not, because this space just has no atmosphere, right? Is there air? There's no air in space either. It's a vacuum, a void. So yeah, I don't know. How long does that fart last? Is there a? I don't know. There's so many questions now. That would turn me off of being an astronaut alone. If you had to live with the, like, if I wanted to live like that, I'd live in the bush. You just smell all the shit all the time. Yeah, you got to know what it's like when your partner farts. You have to know what you're getting into. You have to know if it's going to be a sense robbery, a robbery of the senses, or sorry, an assault on the senses, or if it's going to be a get out of here quick situation. Because sometimes you could fart and it's a big, loud, funny fart, but there's no real after effect. Not very often, but it does happen. Or it's quick. Like the stink is quick. I like a nice full fart. It's got to have some bass to it. The squeakers worry me, man. The squeakers are the ones that make me go, did I just shit? you know? Yeah. I hope that In my relationship, she accidentally farts in front of me. Because I feel like at this point, if it's on purpose, it takes a little something away from it. Because I've been trying to get it for so long. Like, I'm different, dude. I don't just try to get in your pants. I try to find out what your farts smell like. That's all part of me, dude. I don't think she knew she signed up for that one. You gotta know what your partner fart. Like, okay. I like big, loud farts. My youngest, she laughs at like, if she, okay, she's a ripper. That's what I call it. I call them rippers. She rips farts. Like, it's not just a, it's like a, you know what I'm saying? It's massive. So, like, and then she looks to see if you heard it and laugh. Like, everybody heard it, dude. You gotta fart in front of your girlfriend. And you gotta get, your girlfriend has to fart in front of you. That's why I feel like the easiest way to do it is, like, I told you, I squeezed her like ketchup. Nothing. She can hold on to a fart, man. But see, I'm the type of person where if you are a tougher individual to crack, it becomes my goal to try and get you to either smile or involve yourself in the silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a fart story, but I once worked for this one guy who was very like, yep, nope, okay, now go do this, now go do that. Like, he was, I don't know how to describe it, but he was very, like, dry, I guess you could say. And my goal was to get him to laugh. Because, like, I never saw him laugh. I barely even saw him smile. Sorry, that was my goal, to get him to smile. I never saw him laugh, and I never saw him smile. He was never smiling. He was always, this is how we do things, you know? And then one night, we were leaving work, and we have to go. I worked at the dump, so you were in a gated area. So we got to the gate in our cars, and we met there at the same time. And we get out of the car, and we both get to the gate at the same time. And then he reaches for the lock, so I reach for the lock, and I'm like, I'll get it. And he goes, no, I get it. And he grabs the lock, and then I grabbed his hand. And I go, now we're boyfriends. He cracked a smile, and he goes, get the fuck in your car. And so all Clint Eastwood-esque is like in like a crooked smile. And then I get in the car, and I'm like, I got him. And then I told the story the next day and found out that he had actually called my boss to tell him what I did. And they both laughed at me. But that's what I try to do. So, like, I need to know, dude. I need to know if you're trying to keep your farts from me, I need to know what that fart is going to be like. I need to get the fart, man. For the sake of the relationship, there needs to be an expulsion of gas from her rear end. So let me know. Let me know what you think, you know? Tell me if I'm off base, or, like, tell me if I'm, I totally see a drop of water on my glasses. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let me know if you think that, let me know when you think it's appropriate to fart in front of your, significant other. How long does it take? Should it only be 8 weeks, you know? Yeah, you got to get the farts. Anyway, those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I hope you enjoyed the sesh. I hope you come back next week. Don't forget to visit tots420.com. You can check out the whole catalog of sesh episodes. You can also check out some blogs on CBD and other cannabis concepts and products and ideas. Yeah. I guess that's really all I had to say today. I just wanted to discuss farts. But I hope you enjoyed the sesh. I hope that life is good to you. You know? Until next time, keep your lids low, baby.